Okay, so this is how to create a PDF inside of Canva. Just a quick note, you probably do need to have the content of your PDF ready to start with. So have that on a Word document or a Google document and have it so that you've actually worked out what it is that you want in your PDF. It's always probably quite good to have an introduction page, so a little brief of what they're going to be reading. And then you go into the content of your PDF. And then I always have a page at the end which goes through like the call to action and a conclusion for people to go through. So I'm just going to share my screen with you and we'll jump into Canva. Perfect. So first things first is if you want to create a design for a PDF, one would normally choose create a design. Now you could write PDF in at the top and it will come up with some different options. So professional resume, things like that. You could type in ebook and it comes up with lots of different covers and things like that. So it does give you lots of different options for what you're working on. I usually go down and choose the A4 document because I know that I usually want my PDF to be an A4 size. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that and it's going to open up a new page. And what happens is it will then give you some different templates for that PDF document. So you can see here, you get all these different items here. Now, if you hover over a particular item, if it's a one page, it will show one page. If it's a two page, it will show two page. So search templates, I could just do ebook now, and it will actually bring in some different templates for me. And as you can see this one here, there's just one cover. If I go down, sorry, I've just pressed the wrong button. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Here you see, it's got 2 of 4, 3 of 4, so it actually gives you some different ideas for how you want your ebook to look. And you can go down and just keep looking until you see something that you like the look of. And you just keep going down and you just basically, you choose one. So this one's quite nice. Let's have a look at this one. And then you can see how it all lays out. So there's all sorts of different things that you can choose. This one's quite good. Gives you a little bit of detail. Okay, let's choose that one. So what you do is first of all, you click it. And then what happens is it gives you all 5 pages. So you can either choose one page or you can actually choose all 5 pages. So if you wanted to choose one, you just go ahead and click the one page and it will add that one page to your page for you. If, however, you wanted to add all of them, you just click apply all 5 pages and it will actually add all 5 pages for you onto the document ready for you to just replace with everything that you want. So that's how I would normally go about creating my PDF. Now, to resize everything, all you have to do is click on the object. You can move it up and down if you want, so you can see how I can move it around, make it fit. If I wanted to actually change the image, I double click on it, and as you can see, I can move it left and right. If I wanted to change it, I could go to either the photos here on the left, and I could do a search. So I'm going to be doing a dream journal checklist. So let me just do dreams and click OK. And then I can get some pictures that might be more relevant to what I want to pop on. So maybe I might put this one on. Now, if you just click on the picture, it's just going to sit on top. However, if you click on it and drag it over, it will actually place it over the top. You see how I'm dragging it and it actually places it into the area that you want. So that's how you replace the photos. Now, all you have to do now is then change everything to match your own needs. So if I want to change the colors, I click on the box and I'd go up here and I'd click on it and then I would find my brand kit. So I want to use a different brand kit for this. I want to use the April one and it brings my different brand kit. And then I choose a color that I want to replace. Now, what happens is that if you change the color on one area, because this is a template, it will actually ask you if you want to change all of those colors to the new color. So if I click change all the way through the process, it's going to change that color. So from the lighter yellow to the darker orange, it's actually gone through and changed all of that for me. So it's a super quick, super efficient way of doing things. If you want to change the font, so you don't want to have business name there, do you? You want to have what your business name is, not their business name. So you just double click the font and you change that to your business name. Then you put your title here and you just keep going along until you've changed everything up. Now, if you want to change the font, what you do is you double click it, and then up here where it says fonts, you click that and you can change it to any font inside of the collection that's here. And there are so many different fonts that you could choose from. So I'm using this one at the moment, so I'm going to pop that in. And as you can see, it changes the font. And if you want to change the size, you just click this button here and it changes the size of your font. You can also change the color of your font by clicking the text color option. And that's where you could perhaps pop in one of your brand colors. So I might go for that darker color instead. And then it's going to ask me, again, if I want to change it. Also, I'm going to change it all for now. So it's going to change all of that color that I had previously to this color. Along here as well, it gives you the option to make the text bold. So you can tick that if you want. You can make it italic. You can also underline it. And you can also make it uppercase or lowercase, so depending on what you do. You can choose the text orientation from left, formatted, right, and centered. You can also add a bullet point list and a numbered list, and you could also have the spacing between the lines. So if you want the lines to be spaced out a little bit more, you can actually have that as well. You can change the effects of the font. So if you wanted the font to have a shadow, you could add a little shadow or a little buzz to it. You can also make it outlined. You know, you can really play around with this, and you can spend a bit of time. So just decide what you want, or you just stick with what you've got, and just go through from the template that you've chosen. You can animate it, but that's only if you're going to be using it as a video. So we're doing a PDF at the moment, so we won't need to animate it. So we just go along and change things up. So I'm just going to open my Word document with the documentation that I've got. And I'm going to just put here the name of the checklist. And then I'm going to change this here. And I change it. Why is dream journaling important? And I'm just going to put April's name in here, like so. And again, you can change the font by double clicking it to match the font that you're using. So we'll use that one. And then we are away. So we've started to change up the content. So you just carry on doing that. Any colors you want to change, just click on the element, come up to the color wheel, change the color to match what you wanted. Again, it's going to change all, click change all, swaps it over for you, and you just carry on swapping everything up as you go through the PDF, which is super awesome. Now, of course, if you want your logo colors to show up on here, you do need to add your logo in on the page. Now, if you want your logo colors to show up, you can place your logo anywhere on the page. And as you can see over here, you see how it's brought the photo colors up. It will also bring your logo colors up. So if you have a logo and you want to upload it, all you do is click the upload button, grab the upload media, and it will open up your own computer. Bring in a logo. So I'm just going to bring this picture in of me, just pretend that's my logo. Click open. And then what you do is, what I like to do is I usually put it at the end. So I'll add a new page. I'll add the picture in like so. And then what happens is if I click on the color wheel and I come up here to the background color, you see now it's brought the colors from my picture in, and that's what it will do with your logo. So it will actually bring the logo picture into here so that you've got all of your colors from your brand logo. So if you don't know them, this is a really good way of discovering what those colors are. So that's just an idea on how to bring your colors in if you need help. Now, all you have to do then is go through everything, change it up. So I'd have a picture of April here. I would change the name to April. I would change her title. I would put a little bit of an about section in. This is super useful because when somebody downloads something from you, this is your first touch point with them. So it's always quite nice to have just a small little bit about you, not a load, not loads of stuff like I've been this, I've been that, you know, just a quick brief intro to who you are. Little picture's quite useful because it gives them that personalization. They're seeing you, which is always useful when it comes to connecting and engaging and building trust between you and your audience. Also, just go down and change everything. Remember that this is a formatted document, so you need to go down and change everything to your own website address, all those sorts of things. And again, if you want a content table, you can have a content table. If something in the area doesn't fit, then of course you can delete it. So I might take the content out and I'd go straight in. So I'd have my cover, a little bit about me. Then I would go to my first point and I would start filling up my first point. So I would get my first point off my document. I would grab my points. I would place it into here. So double click it. You can delete it if you want, or you can just double click it and replace it with what you've got. And then you're all ready to go. So then you can change this. So this is first point here. So then I would double click it. Oops, I would just grab this one here and I would place that in there. And then if it doesn't fit, you see how it's gone square instead of long. I just grab this box here and I drag it to the end until it fits in nicely, like so. This little line here, the cross, enables you to move it around. And then if it's too big and it does a double line, all you have to do is make sure you've got the whole area highlighted. Come up here and just click the minus until it actually fits on the line. There we go, perfect. And that's all you have to do to replace the content. Of course, you would change the picture. So again, come over to the photos, find something that you could use. So maybe a different picture. So maybe I would just choose, this one's quite nice. I'd pull this over and grab it here. Now, if it's too low and it doesn't fit in properly, double click it and pull the picture up and click done. You can also position the picture up a bit if you want, or down a bit, depending on where you want to. You can also move items. So this one here, the font is separate from the color, but if you want to move them together, you can click on one, press the shift button, and then click on the other one, like so. And that will then group it together and you can move them together. That's always quite good. So just a reminder of that. If you want to put two things together, you click the background first, press the shift button, click the font, and that will group them together so that when you move it, it moves together, which is quite nice. And then what I would do is I have in my checklist here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different steps to like 5 different explanations of what dream journaling is. So then what I would do is I would then just repeat this, you know, depending on how you want to do it. Again, then do third, again repeat, so duplicate it, then I would do fourth, then I would, again, my last point, I would just duplicate the page, because what you're doing then by duplicating the page is that all the format that you've done is correct. So what I would do is make sure that the first page is how you want it. So that includes replacing any writing at the bottom again. So you change that to yourwebsite.com. So it's your website in there. If you want to change the background color, again, click the color, grab the colorway, choose a color from within your palette. If you want to change the color of the font, click on the font, come up here and choose a different font color, and you can just choose and change away. Then once you've done the first page and it's all formatted, then you can just duplicate and go ahead. Okay, perfect. So if I do that, change that color, that's perfect. So then what happens once you've filled in all the colors, all the pages with your content, you have your conclusion page. So this is like where you finish off finalizing what you've said. So here you can add some other pictures if you want. So you could perhaps bring in some different pictures just to make it a little bit different. So you bring in your own pictures in here, depending on what you want to achieve from your pictures. Again, if it doesn't fit quite nicely, double click and then you can pull it over so it fits the square. Click done. Here you would do your conclusion. And also in this section is where you would probably add your clickable link. So to add a clickable link to your PDF, what you need to do first of all is write down what you want them to do. So perhaps here is click here to book a discovery call with me. So what you do is you just highlight the words that you want to be clickable. So I'm highlighting those words there. I come over here to the top and there's this link option. Go ahead and click the link option and it will enable you to add a link to that particular area. So I'm just going to show you how to grab your Calendly. So if I just get my Calendly link here and I click my account and I just grab my event, you copy the link, you come back to your PDF, you paste the link in here, you click return, and what happens, as you can see down the bottom here, is it's now made these lines where the link was clickable because it's put this underline. So it means that that's clickable when you download it as a PDF. Now you might have noticed that I made the image come closer to me then. That's with this zoom option down here. So this option here enables you to zoom in and zoom out depending on how you want your image or your workbook to look. You can also view your workbook as tiles. So I could come over here and click these grid view and I'd be able to see all of my workbooks. So this is like a bird's eye view of how you're creating your workbook. And what happens with this is you can go through each page, make sure that it looks the same, that everything is in order. You've changed the pictures so that you don't repeat it. You go through, make sure everything is up to date. Then once you're happy, if you don't want something to stay, you click on it and then you can click the delete button, or you can take it back to the different view and come up here and then you just delete the page that you don't want. So once you're happy, all you do is instead of clicking on the print letterhead, you click the download button here. This is the download button. Before you do that, I suggest that you name your PDF. So Why Dream Journal. Make sure that you've changed that because that title is what's going to go into your computer, and that title is also what you're going to be uploading into your ConvertKit or your other email marketing tool. That's what's going to be recognizable when you share your file. So make sure that makes sense to you and to your prospective downloader as well. Then all you do is you click the download button, and this is where you decide what you want it to be. Now, we don't want to print this. We want to save it as a PDF standard, which means that it will be a smaller file size, which is easier for you to share, but it also means that it will be a multi-page document. So you will get that ebook feel from it. All you then do is you click download as a standard. You want all the pages, so you can choose to download a limited number of pages or all the pages, and then you go ahead and click download, and it will download that journal to your computer. And that's where you would then have that in a file organized in your computer so that you know exactly what it's doing. So I'm just going to quickly just say, save that to my desktop for now. And then I'm going to open that up for you. So I'm just going to open it up and I'll show you what it looks like. So that's it's opened up. So as you can see, if I scroll through each one, obviously I haven't changed some of the content because I'm just showing you how to do it, but you go down and you keep going down. And then when I get to the bottom page, I can just bring that in a little bit so I can show you. There's the clickable link. And when I click that, it's going to open it up to my booking. So that was the clickable link that I put into my PDF. So I put that inside of Canva and I popped it into my PDF, and that's how I added that clickable link into my PDF. So that's how you create your PDF inside of Canva. Obviously, it's going to take you a little bit of time. There's lots of little bits of fiddling to do, resizing the text, changing the photographs, changing the colors, but you can keep it as simple or as complicated as you wish. It could be as simple as a 1 or 2 page document. First page is introducing what you're giving away, a little bit about you. You go straight into the checklist, and then the last page is your call to action. So your conclusion, why you think it's useful for them to work through it, the link, which could take them to your booking system. It could take them to your products. It could take them to your course page. It could take them to your YouTube channel. It could take you to a podcast, wherever you want them to go. You put that all together and it will create it for you. Any questions about creating your PDF, please drop them in the comments below, or use the tab at the top for comments, or come into the group and ask me a question on the live Q&As. Okay, I will see you in the next video.